Well, thank you for coming. Everybody's here, fans, the media, Louisiana Tech faculty and staff. We appreciate it. Thank you for your support. I want to especially thank our media for their support and their patience during this process. We appreciate the fact that you've respected the privacy of our players and allowed the process to occur. Once I'm done up here, I'll introduce Louisiana Tech Athletics Director Tommy McClellan. He will get up here. He will have some words, and then he will introduce the 7th head coach in Louisiana Tech Lady Techster history. At that time, she will come up here, and she obviously has some words, and then when she is done, we will open it from questions from the media only at that time. One thing that we are going to ask is please understand that today we are focusing on the present and the future of this program. We will not talk about the past at this point. Once the questions and answers are done, I know that some of the media will want to stick around and get Tommy and our new head coach and some others one-on-one. That is fine. I've got 2 of our current players that will be available to the media. That will be Ashley Santos and Rochelle Vasquez. So you can just come to me and I will be by them and take care of them. So without further ado, I want to introduce Louisiana Tech Athletics Director Tommy McClellan.
What a great crowd. Thank you all so much for being here this afternoon. Today is truly an exciting day in the history of our women's basketball program, and looking forward to introducing you to our next head coach. A couple of things that I need to do is some thanks to people that were instrumental in helping allow this process to happen. Number one is Dr. Les Geis. Really appreciate his leadership and his ability to allow for me to go out and do what I feel like is necessary to bring in the next person to lead this program. And without his support, this would not be possible. I do want to thank my search committee, Mary Kay Hungate, our Deputy Athletics Director, and then Dr. Donna Thomas, our Faculty Athletic Rep. They are very instrumental in a daily basis in my role as Athletic Director, but specifically in this case, of allowing me to bounce ideas off of them and to give me great feedback. Our Athletics Council, appreciate all of their work and allowing the opportunity to bring forth this candidate. Our current staff, I want to thank Coach B, Amber Smith, Courtney Brown, and Mickey DeMoss just for their leadership during this time. I think there's situations like this, things happen, and you know, people may run for the hills and do different things, and I appreciate their leadership. And it was a privilege to be able to work with them in the last few weeks just during this time. And I do want to commend them just on their professionalism and maturity. The Lady Techster fans for their unconditional support. I've received so many emails and text messages, phone calls, personal greetings by so many of you and your support just for our program. And you know, that's a reassurance of the support that we have in the foundation here for what we're trying to do. And our goals have not changed. I've said this to the current staff. I've said this to our staff that we're bringing in. I said this to these ladies multiple times. The standards for the Lady Techsters have not been reduced in light of anything. We're still expecting great things. And so the fan base is a huge part of that. I would also challenge you, though, at this time, that now, if you've ever been a Lady Techster fan, now is the time to show it. I'm calling on you to come out and support these young ladies and this coaching staff as they begin to layer, brick by brick, the foundation that so many great people have laid here, and to continue to build upon it. So I'm inviting you, as you are all here, to come back and continue to show your support, not today, but on into the future, particularly this season as well. I want to thank our student athletes that are here. I've been so impressed by you all. You have inspired me, and man, all I can say is I'm proud to be your athletics director, and thank you for giving me the chance to serve you in a greater capacity each and every day. Talk a little bit about this search. I mentioned on the Friday after resignation that anytime that you have a coaching change, that it's like a tree just being ripped up out of the ground, and there's a hole. And so the objective in hiring the next coach is to replace the hole. And fairly soon after we knew that we were going to have to hire a coach, I knew who I had in mind. I knew of this person's character. I knew of this person's work ethic. I've been around Brooke for a while, dating back to my time even at another institution where I saw the work that she did at Northwestern State. And so I knew that this was the perfect person and the perfect leader that we needed at this point in time. I've known her for quite a while and I've admired her work, and I look forward to her being here. Brooke has accomplished a lot in the game of basketball. Many of you remember her here, and I've seen some footage of that here recently, and I've been impressed, Coach. And I thought my skills were good at dribbling the ball. You're a whole lot better than I ever thought I could be. But 4 years as a Lady Texter, the thing that she accomplished here in her time and wins and losses and shooting percentages was remarkable. Certainly as a person that, as a leader, you've been there before and you know how to teach these young ladies. 9 years or more as an assistant coach, including a stint here at Louisiana Tech. And then most recently 4 years as a head coach at Northwestern State, where she took a program that was very, very at the very bottom of their performance level in academics and on the court, and brought them to a level that has never been seen before in that program's history. And then one point that I would specifically make is this past year they ranked 16th in the nation in team GPA, along with being successful on the court. She's community service minded and makes that an approach with her teams, and that's something we talk about here all the time. We want to be champions in the classroom, on the court, and in life, and she matches those. Brooke Stoehr respects and understands our past and our history. She also is equipped and experienced enough to lead us in the present moment. But it's her vision, her work ethic, and her belief in the Lady Texters that will propel us into a brighter future. It is my privilege to introduce the next head coach of the Lady Texters, Brooke Stoehr.
Well, the running joke is, can I make it to the podium without choking up? And I couldn't even do it. So at least we got that out of the way. Tommy, thank you for that introduction. What a great day. First off, I want to thank all of you guys for being here. It's a tremendous show of support for these young women and for our program and where we're going from here. I want to start off with some thank yous, and then I will get a little bit more into what we want to do and our values and our vision for what we're going to do moving forward. I would be remiss to thank Dr. Geis, Tommy McClellan, the search committee, Mary Kay Hungate, Dr. Donna Thomas, the Athletics Council for this opportunity. I hope we make you proud. I will echo Tommy's comments. The current staff, Mickey DeMoss, who is a legend here, had a chance to visit with her yesterday, as well as Amber Smith, Courtney, and Coach B. Tremendous job of having these young women and their well-being at the forefront of this situation. Thank you guys. I know you have their well-being at the forefront as well as the program's success, and that's a big deal to me. This is where it gets hard. I want to thank my family. All of you guys know them because they've kind of been around for a while. My mom and dad, my sister Lindsay, Scott's parents, Bev and Charlie. Obviously Scott, Aubrey, and Cooper. When you coach, and you guys will understand this, but when you coach, it's a lifestyle. It's not an 8 to 5. It's not a 9 to 5. We don't shut it off when we leave the office. It's a lifestyle, and they all sacrifice, and they've all supported dreams and goals, and today's a little bit of reality for that. So thank you guys. A few other people, when you decide a profession, a few other people I want to thank. When you decide to a career path that you choose, that you want to go down, there are people that impact your life and impact your success. Number one on that list is Coach Leon Barmore. He's here today, and that means a great deal to me, Coach. I see you back there. The lessons that I learned from him and the level of excellence that he achieved is unprecedented. And that's something that we're trying to model, and something that I've tried to model every day as a mom, as a wife, and as a coach. I've had a great privilege of working for and under some of the best coaches in the country: Kim Mulkey, legend here at Louisiana Tech, Christy Curry. Joe Foley gave me my first opportunity at Arkansas Little Rock, just a wide-eyed 22-year-old. Had no idea what I was doing. I love basketball. I love to compete. And he said, all right, go find me some players. And I said, okay, Coach. We helped get that program turned around. Amazing opportunity that he gave me. All of those people helped me get to this point today. And you can't stand up here today and not acknowledge those people. And I'm extremely grateful and honored that they're in my life and that they're in my corner. 4 years ago, I will say this, I'm a lot happier to be standing here today. Cooper is sitting right there and not standing up here with me, and that's a great thing. He's been asking for a brother or sister, but we don't have time for that now, buddy. 4 years ago, I stood up in front of a group of people in Natchitoches and had taken on a great challenge. The program we took over had some great history. And had some really successful coaches there, but had fallen on a little hard time, and took a challenge of taking on a team that had won 6 games the year before. And people thought, you must be crazy. You're 7.5 months pregnant. You have a 2-year-old. You're taking on a team that has won 6 games. You're in a comfortable spot. You're happy. What are you doing? And I knew that was the place we were supposed to be. I knew that we would have an impact on those young women, and I knew we'd have a chance to grow as coaches and as people. I want to thank the late Dr. Randy Webb, Greg Burke, and then Dr. Jim Henderson for allowing me that opportunity. That 4 years has prepared me for this. Those previous 9 as assistant, obviously, but when you're in that lead spot, it's a little different when everything falls on you. And those 4 years have prepared me for this, and I have no doubt that I'm extremely grateful for them and the opportunity that they gave me. Other people, coaches and staff, Mike McConaughey, a great the Demon men's coach, basketball, great Louisiana Tech legend. He has been unbelievable to us and really modeled how a leader should impact people. His father passed away last night, and he was a very big part of our life, and still is, obviously. To our student athletes there, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be standing here without them. Their sacrifice, their commitment, and guys, one day I'm going to feel this way about you, okay? And you need to understand that, okay? That's passion, and that's investment, and I'm excited to get to do that with you guys. I'm very thankful for them and all of the staff members that worked with us at Northwestern State and really supported us. To the fans, friends, if I have not texted you back, I am sorry. It has been a whirlwind, I think, since Sunday night. It's been a whirlwind of emotion. It's been a whirlwind of excitement. And we've had a few text messages, so I will get to you, I promise, hopefully after today. That shows me how much pride and how much passion that people have for this program and have for these student athletes. I am honored to be here today because of that. I'll echo Tommy's comments of this is the time to get behind them. This is the time to get behind our program and support these young women. And these last 2 days, I've been even more convinced that the desire and the passion is there for you guys to be successful. Got through those thank yous. All right, now we can get to the good stuff. All right, this is a special place. You guys have figured that out. All of you standing and sitting out there understand that. This is a special place to me with a rich tradition and history. We're not broken, and I want everybody to understand that. First off, you guys, we're not broken. We're moving forward, and we're going in the right direction because of you. All right? I want you guys to stand up. You guys can sit down. All right. Yeah, we're listening. We're listening. Coach Balmer, that hearing and listening, like we got that. We got that down. That's good. First step. All right. Communication's a big part of what we do. All right. We'll get to that. But this is why we're here. This is why I'm here. This is our purpose and our passion. All right. If these young ladies aren't here, we don't have a team. I don't have a job. This is our focus, and this is where we should be, okay? I want you to understand that, support them, and you guys have done a tremendous job with that. As a head coach, I have a great responsibility to uphold this tradition and to get this program where it needs to be. I understand that fully. I'm not scared of that. I don't shy away from that. I respect that, and my passion is to lead us where we need to be. I don't look at it just as a great responsibility. I look at it as a tremendous opportunity. And that opportunity is to impact young lives. I want these young women, when they leave here, whether it be in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years, to have had the best experience that they can have on the court, in the classroom, and in the community. And those are the 3 areas that we'll focus on mostly. I have high expectations, and you guys will learn that quickly, okay? Daily expectations for our staff, daily expectations for our student athletes, and those are very, very important. We'll learn that quickly, all right? If we can focus on those 3 areas of on the court, in the classroom, and in the community, we're going to be very, very successful. Not only are we going to cut down nets, but we're going to be extremely successful when we walk out into the real world. You'll be prepared for anything that you face. I loved my 4 years here. My experience was tremendous, and I want you guys to have that same feel when you leave this great campus. I'm a firm believer in that you win with people. Great players, yes, but you win with people. People that you can trust, people that are going to go to battle for you, and people that have a deep care about what you're doing. We've got the right people. We're going to continue to add the right people as we move forward, and we're going to be very successful because of that. I want to touch base quickly on what I believe makes our program work and what I believe as a coach and as a leader. I have 4 core values, and this is something that we really try to ingrain from our staff to our young women. The first one is family. Obviously, our family, we affectionately refer to ourselves as the Griswolds half the time. I really feel fortunate to still be standing here after we had dinner last night, and Dr. Geis and Miss Kathy had to sit with our 2 children at dinner, and we survived it. We didn't say anything inappropriate, hopefully, and we didn't spill any food or drinks on them, so that's good. We look at family as people that you love, you trust, and you respect, how we communicate with them, and I'm excited to get to do that with you guys. Passion is the second one. I want people that want to be successful. I want people that want to have a great desire about who they want to be when they wake up every single day, that we have a purpose about how we do things, that we have a purpose to live for. And those are the people that I want in my program. And that's something that I'm really excited about with you guys. I want to be service-minded. I want givers and not takers. As a leader, I have to model serving you guys, putting you guys in front of everything else. And I think that in today's time, we really need to focus on being a giver and not a taker. It's one thing for me to stand up here and lead this program. It's another thing for me to model that every day for you guys. We're going to be in the community. We're going to be active. I want you guys to get to know these young women, and I know that you guys have done that, and I'm excited to continue with that. And then the last one is accountability. And I often, it's the most important, but I put it last because those other 3, family, passion, and service, are extremely important. But if you aren't consistent with that, if you don't hold each other accountable, it's my job as a leader to hold my staff accountable. It's my job as a leader to hold our student athletes accountable. And then when we get you guys holding each other accountable, then we're going somewhere, okay? Accountability, and that's the most important component of this. I think when you mix all of those things together and you have the right people in place, there's no ceiling to what can be accomplished. I won't stand up here and talk about winning championships. We're going to be champions every day, and those championships come as a result of that. Those daily disciplines and the process that we go through, that's what's going to equal the results. That's when we'll get what we want, and that's a big deal. You can't get to the end and get to the result without going through the process. And sometimes the process isn't going to be fun. And I'll tell you, we may sit here and we look up in late November and early December and, you know, we have a losing record, or we may be 7-1. It all depends on the process and how we're approaching that every single day, and we won't get ahead of ourselves in that. I'm not going to try to wave a magic wand and have everything fixed in one day. Okay, it's a process, and they'll be patient with that, but we're going to work extremely hard to get to where we want to be. I talked to the team last night. I was really encouraged and excited. I thought they were engaging. I thought their body language was tremendous. It's been fun, even today a little bit, as they came by the office, to see their smiles on their faces and to interact with them a little bit. And we talked about why they came to Louisiana Tech. Number one, to get a world-class education and to walk out of here prepared for whatever they face. And then number two, to compete for championships. And if you want to be the best and you want to compete with the best, you have to have those goals in mind every single day. And it will become monotonous, and you're going to get tired of doing footwork every day at practice, thinking you're at camp when you were 12. But we will take care of the ball. We won't turn it over, and that will be the result of that. They came here for those two reasons, and that shouldn't change. As we move forward, we're going to see some exciting days. We're going to see some hard days, but when we go back to those core values, you got family. You got people around you that are supporting you, that are pulling for you, that understand, hey, this isn't going to be easy. Winning's hard. It's hard. It doesn't just happen. And that's what we got to get to. I said this earlier, I had an amazing experience as a student athlete for 4 years, and I want nothing more for these young women to walk out of here and feel the same way about their university that I feel about mine. And you guys out there, a lot of you are a big part of that. It's great to see you. I can't thank everyone enough for their outpouring of love, support, and encouragement, and for these young women, for my family, for ourselves, but most of all for the program. And that's the neat thing for me. It doesn't matter if it's 1982 or 2016. There is a deep love and a deep appreciation for this program, and that's a big reason why I'm standing here today. I love this place. I want this place to be successful. I have a great respect for the people that have come before me. I don't rank anywhere near half of those people that have stood up here before me, but they will not outwork me. They will not have the same passion. We will win. We will win. I'm so excited. I told Tommy before we walked in here, I'm ready to get through this part of it so we can go to work. Ready to go to work. I think it's going to be a great experience. I love Louisiana Tech. I love this program. We are excited to move forward with this great group of young women, and I can't wait to get started. We appreciate you being here and look forward to some great days ahead. Well, I think it's, you know, you always, as a player or even as a student, you want to see your university be successful. And we've had great success through the years. And I just feel extremely humbled and proud to be standing here today. And this is not something, I'm standing here and I'm the leader, and I'm going to have our vision ingrained in these young women and what we're trying to do and the goals we're trying to accomplish. But it's about the group. You know, I've got to have a great staff around me. I've got to have great support staff, and we've got to have great young women that share that same vision. And I have no doubts that we can do that. I'm just extremely honored, I'm proud, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
Coach, how tough was it to leave a school you brought to 3 straight postseason appearances?
Did they make you ask me that so I cry again? I didn't wear mascara today just for this reason. So, no, it's a lot harder than I thought. We, as a family, we talk about being happy, and sometimes you don't mess with happy. And we've had other opportunities to go other places, and just wasn't the right time for our family, wasn't the right situation. And this was the perfect situation. When Tommy called me, I knew that there was an interest, obviously, in the job. I didn't know what would happen or where it would go. But standing in front of my group of players yesterday morning was very hard. And when you guys walk across the stage and when we cut down nets and we have those same feelings for each other, you know, I've gotten a lot of texts from a lot of former players, and that's humbling to me. It was very difficult. Great people there, and have a great respect for that institution and the leadership there. And my student athletes, I told them yesterday, I said, I have this opportunity because of you. So it was very hard, but I'm so excited to be here and excited about the future and what we can do. They were very, you know, it had to be the right time and the right place and the right opportunity, and this was it.
You mentioned now you get to work. What's the first, plan of action to start?
Well, I think it's relationships. You know, I mean, you're gonna make some gains in the weight room. You're gonna make some gains on the court. But for me, I want to get to know these young ladies. You know, I'm gonna be around these next few weeks, in and out. We've got a recruiting weekend this weekend. We're gonna be gone, but they don't care what I know basketball-wise until they know I care about them, and that's something that you have to do. It takes a little time, but that's my first priority is them. You know, I want to know where they are, what their goals are, who they are as people, and I can't get the most out of them on the court until we have a bond and we have a relationship in terms of who are you, what makes you tick, how are you motivated, how do you respond to certain situations, and I'm excited about that. That's a really fun part. I love the X's and O's, and I could sit in a room all day and do that, but you know, that might get boring after a while. You gotta have those relationships, and first off, that's my main priority.
You mentioned staff, other than the man in the front row over there. Have you thought about that at all at this point?
Yeah, I had an opportunity to meet with the current staff yesterday, and we're formulating that. And we've got some, I've got staff member from Northwestern State here, Lindsay Hicks, has done a tremendous job through this process, and been a great support for me and for Scott and for our players back home in Natchitoches. And I've got some people in mind for sure.
Coach, your passion and your emotion is clear. When did you know that this was a job that you wanted?
Well, when Tommy called me, I returned his phone call, and I was excited. I think that, you always watch, when you're a college coach, you're so busy and you're so focused and invested in your own group that not that you don't pay attention to other things, but you have a one-track mind. You're very tunnel, you have a very tunnel vision, and I was focused on our team and our development and all of that, and I think when things like this happen and openings come up, you look at them, and when I got the call, I was obviously excited. I want the program to do well, but when I knew there was interest from their end, I was very excited.
When you stepped across the stage, whenever you walked across the stage and attacked and graduated, did you think about I'd like to come back here one day?
I don't know. That was a long time ago. In coaching such a different profession, it's who you know, it's timing, just a lot of different things go into that, and I didn't know that I would ever come back here. As a player, you leave and you have aspirations to compete at high levels, and we've been very fortunate. I've been able to work for some great people and learn a great deal and help prepare me for this, but I don't know if you set out and say, that's one job that, I always want to, have in the back of my mind, but I knew that if the opportunity came open and the timing was right, that I'd be very interested.
And when did initial talks begin with you and Tommy for your return to Louisiana Tech?
He called me late in the week last week and kind of started that conversation. I actually was out recruiting over the weekend and met with them late Sunday, and talks initiated from there.
You were once a Lady Texas player yourself. How important do you think that is? You share that experience with these players.
Well, I think it's one thing to show a vision and cast a vision, but it's another thing to be able to sit there and say, I've been where you are. I know exactly what you're going through. I know what you're feeling. I know the weight and the expectations of the program you're playing in. I know the support and the adoration that the fans and the community have for this program. I understand what you're going through, and I think that that's a unique spot for me to be in with them. And I think that we can both learn a lot from that, from each other in that respect.
During your NCAA tournament runs, you were 4th and 6th in the regular season, and you made a run. What was the secret during those runs? Because a lot of times it's the opposite. You have a lot of success. Across the country, a lot of success in the regular season. I guess mid-majors tend to struggle in the conference tournament. So what was the secret in Western State?
The right people. I think that my approach and what I want to do is we may look, and we've got to sit down and see what our skill set is and what we can do offensively. But, offensive philosophy is layups, free throws, and then open jumpers. Everything is predicated on our spacing, and that requires ability to shoot the basketball. So we got to get in the gym and make some shots. But all of that, really kind of turns into it. We may look ugly early on, but our players understand how to play the game. And I'm not running a bunch of sets, and for you basketball people, you understand that. We're teaching the players how to play the game. There's a lot of freedom in that. Now, we're not rolling the ball out there and say, okay, go make a play. We give them a lot of reads based on how they're being guarded and defended, and as a result of that, you know what to do. I don't have to stand over there and call, 15 different plays in a row. You can make those determinations on how you're being defended, and our players understood that. And so as the season went on, they could make plays in pressure situations and could handle that. As a coach, I try to, we go through end-of-game situations, several times a week, and we're putting a time and a score situation up, and we play it out. And there are going to be days where I'm going to raise my voice a little bit in practice, and we're going to make it intense. But I want to put you in those situations before we get to the game. I don't want something the first time you've seen it is to be with the game on the line. And I think that is, how you develop players, how you develop teams. And then over time, when you get to the most important part of the season, your team is playing your best basketball. We preach valuing the basketball. Our teams averaged, I think, 13 turnovers last year a game. That's really big for our success. If you don't beat yourself and force other teams to beat you, you're gonna have a lot of opportunities to win games, and because a lot of teams struggle with that. So I think that being able to play your best basketball at the right time of the season is a lot of how you model your practices, how you model your schedule, how you develop those players throughout the season so they peak at the right time. Again, we're very fortunate we had the right people, but we also there's a method to the madness.
What are realistic expectations for you considering the last couple of years that we did losing seasons here?
To go out and compete every single day, to give our absolute best. Talked to these young women last night of, the little hashtag give your best. My best may look different than each one of theirs. Theirs is going to look different than the rest of our staff members. But individually, if they are giving their absolute best in the classroom, on the court, and in the community every single day, success follows that. I can't stand up here and say, we're going to win 20 games or by year 2 we're going to have won a championship. If you would have told me 4 years ago when I stood up in front of a group in Natchitoches and said, hey, we're just coming off 6 wins. 2 years from now, we're going to win 21 games. We're going to the NCAA tournament. They would have laughed me out of the place. But again, it's what we are going to do every single day in those areas that are going to create those championships and create those wins. And it's just, I'm very process-oriented. I'm not of the opinion of flash and splash. I'm put your head down and go to work and let your results speak for themselves.
Any more questions?
Has the moment quite sunk in yet, or will that be somewhere down the line, like not really?
I don't think it has. And again, I've been blown away. You know, Scott told me at one point, I went to bed about 3, you know, we finished up negotiations late Sunday night, and I hung up the phone with Tommy, and mind was racing, you know, just spinning. I went to bed about 3, woke up at 6 to get the kids to school, and met with my team yesterday morning at 7:45, and I sat down on the couch at the place we were staying last night at about 9:45, 10 o'clock, and it was the first time that I'd had a quiet 10 minutes all day, and I kind of went, holy cow, you know, this is for real. But it's been unbelievable, and I go back to, not in a selfish way of support for me and our family, but support for this program, and I think that's the biggest deal. That's so, it's very humbling. I think maybe in a couple of days it'll hit me, and I'll be a little bit tired, but, you know, just running on adrenaline and excitement. And there's so many familiar faces out here, and I can't tell you, when you do something special and you do something that is not easy, you want great people and great supporters in your corner. And I see so many people out here today that that mean so much to me and have touched my life and helped me have this opportunity today. So I'm excited about that.
What will Scott's role be in the program?
Well, we'll name him, give him a spot on the staff as an assistant coach, and with per state law, when that happens, we will actually be called co-head coaches.
So similar to
Yeah, you know, I have a good joke that I could tell you one day of, he would like to say that I'm the face of the program and he's the other end. But y'all will really appreciate that in a few weeks. No, it's, you know, a lot of people ask us about that, but, you know, it's just like any other staff. I think just as important as, you know, having the right players and the right student athletes, you have to have the right people that you trust and that you respect and that are very good at what they do. And I feel like I ultimately have that. It's no different than a family owning a business. We just sit on a sideline with a scoreboard, and there's a little more pressure and a little public knowledge that we're on the site. We're not hanging out in each other's office all day.
how is that dynamic? It's very much a partnership.
Oh, absolutely. You know when you walk out the door, whether you agree or disagree, that when we walk out the door, I'm always right. No, it works. It works. I'll probably pay for that when I get home. I have to walk back to Natchitoches. Y'all don't forget that, though. No, it's a unique situation because I think it's really hard to find a staff and people that understand you and understand who you are and what you expect on a daily basis. And I'm very fortunate that I'm married to someone that's very good at what he does, but I know at the end of the day he has my back and he's going to be ultimately loyal to our program and what we're trying to accomplish. And you know, he makes light of it, and he always says, I could be the water boy. It doesn't matter as long as I get to coach basketball. And I appreciate that. He's been very good in what he does, but he also is extremely supportive, and he's not coached when I've made moves, and he's given me opportunities to pursue my dreams and chase those. And I'm very fortunate that I got to do it with my best friend.
Any more questions? All right. Thanks, Coach. Okay, so just one more reminder, that'll wrap things up. Any of the media, Tommy will be available. I'm sure Dr. Geis, if you would like to talk to him, will be available. Brooke will be available, and then I'll have the 2 players on my side. So anyway, thanks again for everybody coming. We appreciate your support.